Welcome to Me LLC, where body safety and confidence are essential to mental health. I'd like to congratulate all parents or librarians, teachers, educators, or just some people who are interested in watching Me LLC. Today I want to talk about how you know the progress you're trying to make with your children is working. It's a progress that has to go over and over and develop in time. You'll learn as you think about things how to be creative to help your child come to understand what you're doing. Because some children be like, oh, why you keep asking me that? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know mean they haven't quite got it yet. They haven't grasped it to where it's at the forefront of their minds. Here's a few questions you can ask. How about a 2-year-old? Tell them, hey, have you ever heard about somebody touching somebody the way they shouldn't? And if the child say, yeah, so-and-so hit so-and-so at daycare, ask them a question. How did it make you feel? Did you hit someone? Why? Talk to them about it. What you're doing is helping them to understand. They can come and have conversation with you. When this happens, please set your phone aside beforehand. You want that child to know I have your undivided attention and you have my undivided attention. What you're doing is you're building that rapport and let them know they can talk to you about anything, even things of wickedness and evil. Because a person doesn't have to be wicked or even evil to do something they shouldn't do that is wicked and evil. We have to let children know that just because they do something doesn't always define them. However, when you practice something, you're making it a part of you. So if you're always hitting someone, people are going to think that all you like to do is fight. But it may not be, only sometimes you're just defending yourself, someone else did something to you. But in this case, we're talking about them having an atmosphere to know I can go talk to mommy or daddy, older sister or older brother. In school, they teach it about boundaries once a year or whatever, but you're trying to make it that somebody say, where did you learn about good touch, bad touch? And you can say at home. The child should be able to say at home and at school. At home coming first, let them know the emphasis is that's where the person is telling me most often that it's at the forefront of my mind. Okay, how about a 10-year-old? Oh, they're hearing a little more. Especially if they're in the room when you watch the news. If they're not in the room, they're hearing it from school. And a few haven't heard it, especially when you listen to parents talk about the political arena. But also on the news, they bring it up from time to time how the child has suffered. Or in my book, Parental and Instructor's Guide to My Body as a Sacrifice, there are some references you can look on the internet and see real life cases, even the people telling what they went through. So ask your child, even a 10-year-old, you can use my book, My Body is a Sacrifice. But bring in a real life, or if you choose a make-believe scenario, and ask your 10-year-old, how would they respond? What do you mean by make up something? Tell them, this such person said that their child was having a neighbor or an older brother, or make it a relative. I really want to home in on about the relatives. They had an older sibling at home who was watching them while their parents would be away at work or sometimes go to the store or whatever. But this person was threatening them that they may not tell, and they touched them in the wrong spot. Has this ever happened to you? I want to know so I can keep you safe. And if they say no, say, well, what is the wrong places to touch you? Watch how they express it. Watch how they may freeze and just stare at you. It could be, not that it always is, it could be that you're trying to figure something out. I would definitely suggest that there's an issue if the child starts crying. Don't say, well, just tell me, just tell me. You need a little help. You need to be able to let the child know, I'm here in a calm tone. And maybe sometimes if you go to reach to touch them, they may snatch away. Because in a moment, you reaching out to them is drawing into their mind how somebody that they didn't like, the way they touched them. You can love your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, your cousins, but that doesn't mean you like it when they touch you inappropriately. Hey, how about a 12-year-old? Go on and bring that porno and instructor's guide. I'm going to tell you, both books are published through Dorians. But I have noticed Amazon prices are lower. Hey, I used to say don't shop with them. Anymore, I'm saying shop where you can. The economy is rough. But get the books and start the conversation. A 10-year-old can start in here. If a child can handle it, an 8-year-old, you can make it as gentle. But when you order the book, you start first. A 12-year-old can learn, and I do use biblical narratives. You don't have to be of the Christian faith to understand what these scriptures are saying. It makes it very clear where you're not supposed to touch people, how it harms that person, how it harms the person that it did it, because now they had this grandiose attitude that, how they can do what they want to do. Or they get angry because the child doesn't respond the way they want them to. Or the child told, and they told the child don't tell it. And they tell things like, if you tell your parents, I'm going to kill you. If you tell them, I'm going to beat you up. If you tell them, I'm going to say that you lying and they're going to believe me over you. If you tell them, then they're going to split the family up. They put terror in your children. But your children need to know you will be there to protect them. It's not about you being able to have a man in the house. It's not about you to be able to have a woman near you or a babysitter, your children babysitting. It's some life decisions that need to be made and things need to be rearranged temporarily or permanently. How about a 15-year-old? Now, they didn't heard the stories. Children in school done told more than what parents want them to tell. Oh, I'm telling you. Hey, I was a child, and I know in high school conversations was going on. You'd be like, wow, whoa. And you just kind of sit there and look. Sometimes you make comments. Some things you just sitting there, don't know what to say. You just don't have words. But children share about their pains with others. What you're trying to do is have your child to help you understand what they need from you as a parent. How can I better protect you? A lot of times, children who even do the bullying have suffered. Do you know that there's children bullying other children in school? As young as elementary school about how they want to touch somebody. And honestly, it's nothing new. It just doesn't make the news. But there's children you better let me touch you. When a child come home and they tell you and you say, who touched you? And they say so, and you talk to the school and the school said, well, I talked to this parents. Ask the school. Is this the first time? Is this the second or third time? Go to the Board of Education. Tell them your child feels unsafe. Contact the children's home or the police department to see what you can do to hold the parents accountable. Children shouldn't be being bullied. Understand if that child is coming home, so many children hold it in and have committed suicide because they was holding it in. They didn't want to seem like they were weak or the parents telling them, oh, get over it. Quit telling your children to get over it. How come you haven't got over the things that you have to deal with in life? And if you had got over them, you wouldn't tell your child just to get over it. You know it wasn't just a getting over it thing. That's part of the reason you have the issues you have now. I don't say that in anger and judgment. I'm just saying they need help. Ask your child, have you been intimate? With who? You as a parent have a right to know. Anything happened to your child need medical care. Who do they send that bill to? Don't want to hear about how you done try to tell your child or you asked your child. That bill comes to you, so you have a right to know. I'm not all up on this new thing where children should be able to go do what they want to do. Go get birth control pills when they want to. Here's the thing. There are people out there who even tell these children, and it's not just the male talking to the female. It's female talking to the male, or it's female talking to female, male to male, he, they, whatever the pronoun people want to use, it's happening. But I encourage you to have a conversation with your children. Your children grown? You gotta ask. And some of parents gonna be really hurt. But ask anyway. Have a conversation of where did I didn't and I do. Yes, your feelings gonna get hurt. It may be a time where you have to say, hey, we gotta hold this discussion for later. Why didn't you tell me? I talked to you. But the importance of why you want to ask your children, to ask them, are they being proactive with their children? Or they think you didn't have a kind personality that they can come to? Make sure they have a kind personality to where your grandchildren can come to them. Or ask them, hey, can they come to me and I come to you? Most parents, no. But understand, young parents, it does take a village to raise a child. And in that village, it starts with you and then out towards your grandparents. I would suggest everybody think about it. Because if a child tell you it was their father or their mother or one of their grandparents, you got to have a conversation next to that child, how they're feeling now about that person. It shouldn't be, oh, your sibling did that 10 years ago. Y'all grown. Get over it. How hurtful can you be? If they choose to forgive and work through it, help them do that. But at the same time, I caution you. Just because somebody did it when they was a young teenager and now they grown, don't think their mentality has changed. Well, they grown now and they not bothering little children. That's not true. That's not true. They're doing it, and if they done it to your child, they done it to another. More and more people are finding that out. Hey, come on, join me in that challenge. Don't wait till 2025. Start now. Everybody, start the conversation. Start getting your work done. Follow Mimi PLLC on YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. LinkedIn and Twitter gives me a shorter time frame. I'm saying let's be purposeful. For even the trickery of telling some children, older folks will tell them, I'm going to marry you someday. Or you want to come over to my house? Help your children. Talk to them about how you feel like going over cousin so and so. It's so fun. What part don't you like? Watch their expression. And then be kind to your child and someone else's child. Don't be so quick to run and tell somebody about it. The person you tell may do more harm to telling other people than to getting you help or supporting you in the help. Yes, I'm expecting numbers in 2025 to go up as reported cases, especially in certain communities. But the whole thing is, that show that people are letting people know we're not playing. Keep your hands off my child. And remember, if both are youth, most children's hospitals have counseling for them. Call them. Know for yourself. Hey, will this go on my child record? I can tell you they say no, but things could change or a community can change. Laws change in different areas and states, counties. Check it out. Don't just say I told them don't. You don't want your child to quit touching your child and turn and touch another child. It could be your niece, nephew, or one of your little cousins. I'm saying, come on. Let's shatter this thing that no longer is close to 60,000 reported cases of sexual abuse towards a child. And let's hold people accountable, whether they're a child or an adult, to make a difference. Don't know that it's an adult or a child because your child is not ready to speak up. Get them help to speak it up. We're not professionals. There are people who are trained. And even though we do our best, sometimes, many times, we fall short. But be active, even with the professionals, that your child is not re-injured there. I'm saying God does love us all, believer or non-believer, and He is reaching down with love. That hand is just a symbol of God reaching down, saying, I'm hearing my children cry. It's nothing new, but I still keep telling you all, you're accountable. You're accountable. Teach them so they'll understand that there is love and hope. And that heart is the love of Christ. And that word high is in the middle in the red. That heart and the word high is in red. Saying, for such He died, is to help you. I'm the author, Mimi P. Saying body safety and confidence are essential to mental health. Enjoy your day.